Kids learn about money from their parents. They know whether you tend to save up for fun purchases or pull out the credit card when temptation strikes. Since they're learning from you, talk to your kids about using their money wisely. Start by admitting your own mistakes, talking about your family budget, and discussing the importance of sharing some of your money with causes that are important to you. There are gentle ways to help them become wise stewards of their own money. To learn more, go to stcumoney.org.
Spokane listens when business talks. Welcome to Business Talks, the region's only local business radio talk show with your host, Ryan McNeese. Business Talks is brought to you by STCU. Now, let's get down to business with Business Talks.
Welcome to Business Talks. I'm Ryan McNeese, and I'm in the studio with Peter Rusnak, president of King Beverage, Inc. Pete, thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's probably anybody on planet Earth that doesn't know the brand Budweiser. And that's why I was so interested to have you in on the show, is to talk about the history of King Beverage.
Okay.
And obviously your main product is Budweiser and Anheuser-Busch. Let's talk about the beginning of King Beverage here in Spokane, the distribution business.
Okay. Well, it's a family-owned business by our family, and to go back in the story, my dad studied, he got his MBA at Columbia University, and he was recruited out of Columbia in New York City to be the vice president of sales for Labatt Brewing for the U.S. And in doing so, over the years, he helped Anheuser-Busch and August Busch III introduce Budweiser into Canada.
Okay, so there was already a connection through Labatt and his time there.
Well, what happened is Anheuser-Busch felt best fit to utilize the lineage of Labatt Brewing to, again, help introduce Budweiser into Canada. So my dad helped drive that, and August Busch III took a liking to my dad, and he asked him if he had interest in distribution possibilities in the United States. And my dad said absolutely, and he said there's an opportunity in Spokane, Washington. And my dad jumped in his car soon after, drove from New York to Spokane, took a liking to this community.
Had he ever been in Spokane at all?
Never been to Spokane. So he took a liking to the community, thought it was an incredible opportunity, and he jumped on the opportunity, and our family moved here in, I think it was May of 1980 approximately.
Okay. And
we moved here, and we bought the distribution from the Backlund family. And
had they had that distributor for quite a while, or?
They had.
Okay.
Yep. So it was in their family for some time, and at that time it was called B&B Distributors.
Yep, I remember that.
So we purchased B&B Distributors, and it was just the distribution rights of Anheuser-Busch and several other brands just in Spokane at that time.
Well, and that's a piece of the puzzle that's interesting to me, is that King Beverage was B&B, but Budweiser and Anheuser-Busch obviously is the predominant brand. But in the distribution business, there's a whole host of other products that you guys distribute. And I don't think most folks realize that. They think, oh, if you distribute Budweiser, it's right. Bud Light, Budweiser, or potentially some of the microbrews that you have. But what are some of the other products that maybe people would recognize that you had then, or what have you transitioned to now? Well,
we had a lot of old brands that some exist and some don't exist. The ever-changing of the beer industry, but we had Pabst, we had Hamm's, we had Olympia, we had Beer, the generic beer in the white can.
That literally said beer on the side?
Beer.
I love that.
Obviously, we had Anheuser-Busch. So we had a plethora of different brands, and again, some of them exist in today's age, and some have fallen off.
Yeah, it makes sense. Based on sales and sales numbers, you make a choice to continue a relationship or not. When you first, when B&B and again now King came to Spokane, one warehouse, I believe.
Yes.
Any other distribution locations at that time?
No. So we were solely in Spokane at that time. And over the last 15 years, we've consolidated 11 other distributorships throughout the state. So,
Okay.
so we've grown quite a bit, obviously, geographically over the last 15 years.
What types of challenges does that provide? I mean, obviously, when you're here locally, you live here in Spokane, but I'd imagine you travel quite a bit to manage in these respective geographic areas where you guys have other warehouses.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a vast learning lesson of learning first and foremost the marketplace. You're dealing with obviously a new dynamic of personnel and employment. At the time, we were dealing with a big transition of bringing the personnel into the belief of King Beverage
Right.
Business stance here.
Yep.
So, and then
So you're talking about those employees in those different areas really buying into the culture and the
Absolutely.
brand that you'd already had for a number of years.
Absolutely, yep. And then outreach to the community takes a long time, and to really get a niche into the community was very challenging as well.
And that's actually right before the show, you and I were chatting a little bit about branding, and again, the power of the Budweiser brand. I know that's an issue that you spend many, many thousands of dollars on, whether it be community outreach here in Spokane or in the other geographic regions. Let's talk about the brand, because from my perspective, and knowing you for a long, long time, and knowing B&B and King, that's something you guys have absolutely excelled at, which is promotion and marketing.
Right. Yeah, marketing is such a big part of the beer industry, and we spend a wide range of our money against promotion and advertising and marketing of the brands. Again, you consistently have to get in front of the consumer's eyes to try
Right.
to grow market share.
Well, at its most basic level, if you're at a Gonzaga basketball game or you're at any particular event, the consumer has the choice to reach for the Coors Light or
Absolutely.
the Budweiser product, Bud Light, Budweiser, et cetera. And so it makes sense from that fundamental marketing standpoint that what beer, what product do they want to associate with? And
Absolutely.
I think you guys have done a great job in Spokane. I think you're, aren't you the go-to beer brand for Gonzaga basketball?
We are.
Yeah.
We picked up that sponsorship this year. It's a 3-year sponsorship. We're thrilled to have it.
That's a big deal.
We understand that Gonzaga resonates with so many of the individuals throughout the Spokane community, and also has a reach throughout the state and nationally as well. So we're
Well,
thrilled to be the official beer sponsor.
I think that's a really big deal. You know, I think all of us that travel around the country here and there, you have those individual conversations with folks, whether it be in Arizona or California or back east, where people recognize Gonzaga basketball.
Absolutely. I was in an Uber in New York City once, and the driver asked me where I was from. I said Spokane, Washington. He said, "Oh, I love those Zags." So,
Yeah, and whether they've been here or not, as you said, it resonates with folks that Gonzaga basketball, when you're in the top 10 year after year after year, people around the country start taking notice.
Yep.
So it makes sense, obviously, from a business perspective, that associating with powerful brands, obviously Budweiser's a powerful brand, but Gonzaga basketball is becoming a national brand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go back a little bit and chat about the culture, the challenge that you said as you've expanded to the different distribution sites throughout Washington. How do you practically, like boots on the ground, how do you implement what you believe to be your important culture? How do you reach out to those areas and make sure that they're reacting to the business environment the way you do here?
Well, we really strive to have diversity through our corporation as well. And so, and we learn a lot through our employees. It's important to have diversity for our company because we service, for instance, the Tri-Cities and the Yakima market. And our consumers there are vastly Hispanic driven. And so we feel that it's important, again, to have personnel within to understand the community and how to approach our brand and to fit in within that community.
That's a good point, though. I think what I'm hearing you say, though, is when there is that diversity, predominantly Hispanic, for instance, in the Yakima Valley area, that a lot of the managers, directors, et cetera, that are managing other Hispanics, sales team, distribution force, understanding the nuances of those communities is
absolutely.
important. What have been some of the challenges for expansion? Because obviously you made a choice to instead of being just here in Spokane and the reach that you had, which was already good, but made the decision to expand. What are some of the challenges that have come up with that?
Some of the challenges definitely was making sure that we had a consistent portfolio, and it's challenging to get all of our suppliers to come into the King Beverage portfolio, and so definitely one of the challenges is to make sure that you have the right portfolio for the marketplace.
Let's come right back after a short break and talk more about King Beverage and Budweiser. Thanks, Pete.
Yeah.
In touch, online all the time. SpokaneTalksOnline.com.
What is a credit union? It's a cooperative, like a food co-op or a housing co-op, but the members share money. Credit unions offer the same services you'll find in a bank, but they're different from banks. First, credit unions are owned by their members, and credit unions are not for profit. Any money the credit union makes goes right back to the members in the form of low fees and good rates. To learn more, you can go to STCU's blog at stcumoney.org.
Snoring can disrupt marriages and cause serious health problems. Call Sleep Better Northwest first, the experts in dental sleep medicine. Their medically approved, custom-fit oral appliances will have both you and your partner sleeping better and being more productive throughout your day. Don't wait. Snoring and sleep apnea can signal potential strokes or heart attacks. For more information, visit needbettersleepnow.com and download our health guide today. Sleep Better Northwest, the experts in dental sleep medicine.
What is that you're holding? The Spokesman Review? Is it really even a factor in driving customer traffic anymore?
Sure is. Here, close your eyes and imagine a few people with $5 bills in their hands standing outside the door of your business.
Okay, I see them. I like it. People with money. What's your point? $5 isn't that much.
I know, but what if there were 300,000 people in front of your door with $5 bills in their hands?
Well, now you got my attention. That's $1.5 million. 300,000 people. Where'd they come from?
Yeah, that's how many different people read the Spokesman Review every week in print, online, or on their mobile.
Wow, that's impressive.
All you got to do is invite them in. Run some ads.
The Spokesman Review has 300,000 readers a week? That's amazing. I had no idea.
Most people don't. That's why we're running this ad. In print and online, the Spokesman Review delivers customers for your business.
Welcome back to Business Talks. We're here in the studio with Peter Rusnak of King Beverage and Budweiser. We've been chatting about how the distribution company, as formerly known as B&B Distributors, now King Beverage, started out with one warehouse here in Spokane, but has expanded fairly dramatically to many different locations within the state of Washington. And Peter, we were talking about the different challenges of implementing staffing supervision, management in the different regions throughout Washington. I know here locally, you're extremely involved in quite a few community outreach organizations. For instance, a couple that come to mind is Ripon Foundation, Ronald McDonald House, which includes the Polo Classic.
That's correct.
That's a fun one every year. Vanessa Behan Crisis Nursery. Let's talk about how you got associated with some of those. For instance, like Ripon Foundation. How did you originally get associated with that organization?
Striking up a friendship with Mark Ripon, first and foremost, and I think the world of him, and I value what he does to help with the community, and we love to assist in his events. Mark throws annual golf tournaments to help raise awareness of cancer research.
They do a great job, don't
they?
they?
They do. And so we love to be involved with his association, and we're fortunate year to year to bring the world famous Budweiser Clydesdales into town. And whenever we have the opportunity to bring them into town, we'll bring a horse up to the new extension of Sacred Heart Hospital. And the children are able to come out through their darkness of a tough day, and to see the glimmer, and to be able to put a smile on their face. And the Clydesdales are just gentle giants.
Yeah, that's quite an undertaking, though, to get those large animals to that vicinity.
Yeah, they require an enormous semi-trailer, and we parked the semi right at the valet of the Sacred Heart Hospital.
What a great visual, though, and for the kids to come out.
It's
and see the
incredible.
horse. That's amazing.
Yeah, so we love doing that. We also take the horses to the Ronald McDonald Children's House as well. And so, again, we have great assets to help with the community, and again, bring a smile to the children's faces.
Well, and as you said, the resources and the assets for these different organizations, not only does King Beverage have a great staffing as well, but you have the volunteers and the folks on board with Ripon Foundation, Ronald McDonald House, or Vanessa Behan. So it sounds like quite a collaboration between the two to make these events happen.
Yeah, and again, these foundations, again, set up just terrific events. The Polo Classic, for example, is just one of the tremendous events to raise money again. And
that's a pretty recognizable event each year. I think the promotion, the marketing for that event, most folks know that it's going on, but there might be some of our listeners that haven't participated with the Polo Classic, but it's a fun one to participate in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's at the polo fields. It's usually early in September, and again, whoever hasn't experienced that event, we'd love to have them join and partake in it.
Well, and not only from somebody watching the Polo Classic would be worth taking on, but I had an opportunity a couple of years back to go out and ride the horses and actually go around with the mallets and I don't even know if they call it a ball.
Yeah.
But I would encourage anybody that thinks that they can actually ride a horse and hit that ball with a mallet, go try it. It is very difficult.
Yeah, it's impressive to watch.
Yeah,
so.
you definitely get a lot of respect for those players. It's pretty impressive. I didn't realize the trainers that were out there kept telling me that, well, the horses have different gears. You're not in the right gear. They're in a gallop versus some type of smooth. Anyway, couldn't hit the ball. I stayed on the horse, but I couldn't hit the ball. So
I'll stay as a spectator.
Yeah, I think spectator is good for me too. Well, and let's chat a little bit about consumer awareness in terms of Budweiser or any type of alcoholic beverage.
Yep.
A concern in the community can be, our underage drinkers, et cetera.
Yep.
But I've noticed that King Beverage over the years and Anheuser-Busch have done a great job of consumer awareness of safe drinking.
Absolutely.
What does King do and or Anheuser-Busch to promote that?
We consistently strive a message of consumer awareness with responsibility. Every experience tied around our brand, we absolutely, our motto is to make sure the consumer understands that there is a strict line of responsibility tied with it.
Well, I think you guys have specifically, as an organization, done a great job with that, whether it be through billboards, television ads. You've definitely put a lot of resources towards doing right by the consumer in that regard. Let's talk more about promotion and marketing of King Beverage here locally. What are some of the events that, whether it be nonprofit or otherwise, that you're involved in coming up this spring and or summer?
Well, we are a big sponsor of Bloomsday coming up here. We tie in Michelob Ultra at the finish line, and I think the runners really enjoy that moment in the park, and it's a little celebration tied in with a sponsorship there. Throughout the summer, we have a wide range of sponsorships. We're tied in with the Spokane Indians. We're currently tied in with the Spokane Chiefs.
Probably music venues as well.
Absolutely. Music venues. We're the official beer sponsor out at the Gorge. So there's rodeos, there's golf tournaments, there's state fairs and community fairs. And so we really, really try to strive on promotions with every event that you can think that there's an alcohol association with it. We think it is the right move to have Anheuser-Busch tied in with that event.
Well, and I ask you specifically, and you answered here locally and regionally, the things that you've been involved with for King and Anheuser-Busch. But also, promotion and marketing takes you all around the country. I know you've been involved with Daytona 500.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the big-name music festivals down in Palm Springs. What are a couple other ones that...
Well, the NFL currently, Anheuser-Busch is the official beer sponsor of the NFL, and so we've been fortunate enough to experience a lot of football events. Again, Anheuser-Busch has really done a great job in coming into the young consumers' thought process with music festivals.
Right.
So
that really has become such a significant genre, specifically down in California and Palm Springs area.
Yeah, all over the country and all over the world. The young consumers really gravitate towards music.
Yeah, and
so,
live music.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And all styles of music, electronic and country and rock.
A big deal.
So Anheuser-Busch has done a great job of investment towards music festivals. Again, to capture that next up-and-coming young consumer.
Well, and that's an interesting question, too, because almost any business you talk to, they have to assess who their target market is. And in the beer business, it's going to be obviously a wide range, over 21, obviously, and up to what have you. So it's maybe a little difficult in that you're targeting a very wide range of ages.
Yeah, definitely the sweet spot of the alcohol industry is, I'd say, 21 to 25. And again, you want to capture them when they are just coming into the legal age, and you feel that they make a lifetime decision if you capture them at that age. So
well, I think
it's very important.
There's a lot to be said by that. I think even the NASCAR world and the marketing that you see through NASCAR is brand loyalty. And as you said, somebody that, using an example, Tide, for instance, sees their favorite driver driving the Tide car. If they decide that they're going to go with that product, oftentimes they stick with it for years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Peter, I really appreciate you being here in the studio with us today and
it was great
talking
fun.
about Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch, and King Beverage. Come in here again soon.
Okay, thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Business Talks is produced in Spokane, Washington by SpokaneTalksOnline.com, which is solely responsible for its content. Ask a question, recommend a guest, and hear this program again online anytime at SpokaneTalksOnline.com. Business Talks is brought to you by our friends at STCU. Business Talks wishes you good business and a good day.
If you're like many shoppers, you love to find a deal online. Or you shop online because it's so convenient. And you probably know thieves love to go online too, to try to steal shoppers' credit card information. When you're shopping online, you can start protecting your credit card information by investigating the website you're shopping on. Make sure the online retailer lists a real phone number and a physical address. Read the site's privacy policy and search for reviews and ratings of the retailer. You can read more about safe shopping online at STCU's financial education blog. Go to stcumoney.org.
Last year alone, Avista customers saved over 53 million kilowatt hours of energy by taking advantage of rebates from Avista. Like 15 cents a square foot for new attic insulation, $35 for installing a smart thermostat, or $2,300 for switching from electric to natural gas heat. And all that savings reduced carbon emissions by more than 18,000 tons. Way to save, everyone. Way to save. Find your way to save at avistautilities.com. Com.